it's a green material, and I think in the long run it should be a good replacement for wood, number one. Number two, it's a great employment creator. We create almost 25 million man days of employment every year in this sector. So this is the sort of dimension that you have. Our objective is to make this as a viable alternative to existing building material. The basic idea was that there had been a lot of work done in China with bamboo, and it had become a major export sector. So consequently, we wanted also to develop our own bamboo sector, because India is about the second largest grower of bamboo. At least it holds its stock. So this was the idea to number one, add value to bamboo, and also to bring about more employment related to this material. If you see the availability of bamboo and if you see poverty, they are coterminous in terms of where bamboo is and what poverty statistics you have. You have large chunks of poverty or large areas of poverty, and the idea was to develop technology so that the benefits of exploiting this resource, natural resource, can go right up to the village level. We've developed different types of boards using mats. You see, bamboo mats are woven across many communities in India. So what we've done is we've taken these mats and used them to develop boards. And we've developed different types of boards, right from 4 mm, which are used for interiors, to 6 mm, 9 mm, 12 mm, 16 mm. Now, the 16 mm boards we are by and large using for construction purposes because they're very strong boards. Whereas 12 mm, what we are trying to do is use them for shuttering material. We have given it to some of the players in the building industry, and they find them to be far superior to plyboard. It's only that when you saw the strength of the boards that were being made, the 16 mm boards, and you had this reconstruction for tsunami, it's only then that we thought that we could try this material, and of course the CPWD then accepted this material as a good alternative, being meeting all these standards, the wood standards, in fact better than wood, and therefore they decided to use this for reconstruction in the Andamans. And that is when it came to us that you can actually use it as a viable alternative material for construction in areas where things don't reach. We've set up the units. They have the base material.
Okay.
Now our job was, if you've set up the unit, these guys are small. Now either they build their own distribution channels and put it to some other use. Now that is something which is difficult for them. So when we found that these structures were capable, we trained these people into fabrication. So these guys not only run the units, but they also have learned fabrication. They do a fantastic job. The first set of structures in Leh, we started on 28th of August. By the end of September, we had completed 22,000 square feet of space. Most of the entrepreneurs whom we've got are either in the northeast, because they are familiar with bamboo, or in central India. But in the mainland, it still is an issue in the sense you don't have entrepreneurs who may be willing to, invest. If they're willing to invest, then you have issues of raw material. Now, transporting bamboo is not a good idea, because you're transporting a lot of air in that. Bamboo is a hollow pole. So if you load it on a truck, you're transporting a huge amount of air rather than bamboo alone. Okay. So if you want to develop in any other part of India, you need raw material to be processed near the pit head or where the bamboo is. That linkage is very difficult, but we're trying to do that. I think, number one, we are into the infrastructure sector in terms of schools. So if you see the film that we have on Chhattisgarh, and you see students studying, you say, yeah, thank God we got something going for these children, otherwise they would not be studying. The second, like in Leh, once we do 60,000 square feet of space in Leh, it's a great challenge. Otherwise, after 15th November, when temperatures plummet below -10, it's impossible to live in those tents. In fact, we had gone to this village where we finished this thing. People had never expected that they'll get a house in a month's time after the disaster. So this disaster happened on 5th or 8th of August. By the end of September, early October, they had a house. They said, we don't believe that we'd ever get a house so soon. Okay. So, this is the reward you get here, that at least you've contributed to someone's, problems and solved that. So that's a huge, and then number 3, employment. You're creating a huge, at least you're giving some capability for people to, as a livelihood. And number 4, of course, if the industry works, it's a great satisfaction that you built a whole sector.